Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Today I wanted to talk about this topic because I was speaking to somebody, I guess, who's been an athlete, hiker, mountain climber, that kind of stuff. He made a statement to me that said, I've abused my body. That's why I hurt so much. And I want to talk about that. So, I've abused my body. Have you? So we'll get to that. All right. Relax your body. Let the shoulders down. If they're up around your earlobes, you're holding tension. Let it go. Hope everybody had a good Monday. And I got some good feedback on the video yesterday. Are your two beliefs fighting each other? And a lot of people were saying, yeah, definitely. I feel like I'm battling myself. Nothing about a fight is safe. So, do the research, learn, do the assessments, and decide I'm in the right place. So, anytime somebody has had a legitimate true injury, or they're an athlete of some sort, there seems to be a ingrained belief in that athletic world that over time you wear out your body, right? Now, perhaps as an athlete, you may incur more injuries than somebody who's pretty relaxed and doesn't do too much. But here's the key, and I believe this deeply. The body heals. Even athletes who do incur real injuries, if they rest and get the proper care, the body heals. And so I don't believe the body degrades over time. Now, let's think about just overall. What do we do when we want to strengthen the body? Strengthen the bones, strengthen the joints and the tendons. We work out. We don't sit on the couch and avoid it. We work out. How? Because when you put friction on this body, it gets stronger, gets more capable. Muscles get stronger, joints and tendons get stronger, right? All that stuff. And so, I don't believe we wear out our bodies by being an athlete. Yeah, you might be more inclined to get injuries, but that doesn't mean you won't heal. Give it the appropriate time. Now, I've got a great story, and it's in my book, about this guy, Frenchie. He's a 50-some-odd-year-old guy. He's been riding dirt motorcycles forever, for his entire life. And he goes hard, and he competes, and he's flying this dirt bike, 30 feet in the air for 50 yards, 50 feet maybe. And he's had many, many, many crashes, accidents, and many broken bones, injuries, surgeries to fix his body. And this guy's got no chronic pain, right? Why? Because he's proven over and over and over again that even though he's abusing his body recovers, he heals, right? And so you gotta get to the point where if you want to teach this brain to turn off these symptoms, telling yourself a story based on a belief that, well, I've worked my body hard, therefore it is degraded and decrepit and I'm going to be in pain forever, that's a belief. That's not fact, right? And I've talked to people and I've said, well, this injury that you had 2 years ago, why has that not healed? And so any type of pain with fear and attention can become persistent. And if you believe that you have injured yourself and it has not healed because I've worn out my body, what does that create? The belief. And that belief creates a lot of fear. And when the brain perceives that danger, what's it going to do? It's going to warn you every time you use that body part that you have convinced the brain has not healed, because you've abused your body too much. And look, are there exceptions to this? Yes. Likely a lot of athletes are not very patient people. They want to get back out and get into their sport, into their running, into their climbing, or whatever they do. And sometimes they may not give their body enough time to heal, in which case they can re-injure a part. But the key is the body heals. It knows how to do it. It may take longer if you don't give it the appropriate rest, but it will heal. And so if you have this belief that I've abused my body and that's why I'm going to have a lifetime of pain, I'm going to encourage you to change and shift that belief. And just trust that the body knows how to heal. Burn yourself on the stove. What happens? No effort on your part. The body will heal. Cut yourself. Clean it. Put a bandage on it. No effort on your part. The body heals. The skin grows back together. Broken bones. They set it properly, put it in a cast. What happens? The bone fixes itself. So who's to say, an injury that you had in a sporting activity won't heal? It will. You almost have to try to get your body not to heal. And what that looks like is not giving the body time to heal and just continuing to go. If you sprain your ankle and you don't stop walking or running on it, it's going to take a long time to heal because you keep on re-injuring it, right? And you're running on a sprained ankle, for example. So if there is a true injury, find some patience. Give your body the time. Give yourself the grace to trust the body. It will heal for you. But if you've got this story that says, because of my athletics or what I've been doing or my job or what I've done, I've abused my body and therefore I will have pain forever, I'll say it's a really crappy belief system to hold because it goes against how the body works. The body heals. Trust it. It will. If there's a true injury, give it a little bit of time. Let the body heal. Then resume activity. If you need to, gradually, but you'll get back to it, right? Rehabilitation facilities. They take some of the most broken up people from some of the worst accidents and they teach them how to walk again. They teach them how to stand again, do everything again. Occupational and physical therapy. And what happens? These people who are broken to bits in horrible car accidents and whatever, they recover and they get better. Now, did they receive the proper care? Absolutely. And in the case of a fall or an accident or something like that, physical therapy is wonderful. But if you've got a pain that just kind of came out of nowhere, like back pain, and you're not really sure, there's no apparent injury, I'm not convinced physical therapy is needed because all they're going to do is convince you your body's the problem and we need to stretch you this way and strengthen your core and everything else. How do I know? I did a lot of physical therapy, both at home with exercises as well as, professional physical therapy. And in my last stint of physical therapy, when I was all crooked, I literally went in and said, I don't have a lot of pain. I just want to straighten up. So help me out with that. And in 6 weeks, I went from a level 3 out of 10 pain to a level 7 or 8 chronic all the time pain. Why? Because these well-meaning people who didn't understand the brain's workings and the perception of danger, they kept on looking at me like, wow, you're messed up. And then they would dig their elbow into my back, and then they would try to stretch me certain ways, which was not comfortable. And as weeks progressed, it became less and less comfortable, more and more uncomfortable. And they convinced me that my body was whacked out. And as my brain accepted that perception of danger, what happened to the symptoms? They climbed. All told, I had 13 years of back pain, sciatica. It was never my back. It was always perception of danger. TMS, as Dr. Sarno originally defined it. Tension myositis syndrome. Pain created by the brain. His world was all about emotions. My world says the brain can perceive a lot of stuff as dangerous. Solution? Teach the brain we're actually okay. Trust the body. Teach the brain. And if you are carrying this story that says the reason I hurt so much is because I've abused my body, I'm going to encourage you to shift that belief and start to trust that the body heals. And if your last injury may have been an injury, may not have been, if your last injury was longer ago than the normal time to heal from that type of injury, then it's the brain perceiving danger with this story that I won't heal right because I've abused my body. It's that's keeping the pain going. And I will just make this very specific point. An acute onset of pain is very often interpreted as an injury. But upon investigation by doctors, imaging studies, MRIs, ultrasounds, x-rays, they often can't find a problem. Oh, but it's soft tissue. Okay. But soft tissue heals pretty quickly, right? And so, if you believe it's an injury, let it rest. Let it heal. It will. And sometimes it may just be an acute onset of perceived danger pain. Hey, you're bending over. What are you doing? You're lifting something heavy. Stop that. Ouch, here's some back pain. It's not proof of an injury. It's proof that your brain perceived you bending over, picking something heavy up as dangerous. Right? Was there a true injury? Maybe. But they start to feel better pretty quickly after the injury, and symptoms that stay the same or even get worse, the more fearful you get and the more you convince yourself you really injured yourself, now you're messed up, then you go and you find a herniated disc and the fear climbs and now all of a sudden you're feeling way worse. That's not how injuries behave. Injuries get better over time, usually fairly quick. Even if you break the femur, the largest bone in the body, yes, it might take 3 months to heal, maybe 6 at the outset. But the majority of the pain is in the first several weeks, and then it gets better, better, better. So if you have pain that you believe is from an injury and the symptoms are getting worse and not better, the fear and the perception of danger is driving those symptoms higher, right? An example, I dropped a big metal stand, a drumming stand, on my toe. And that stand, I don't know how much it weighed, 20 pounds, and it whacked me right on the toenail. And I yelped, and it hurt, and I limped for like 3 days. And the nail turned black, and like the whole thing. True injury, true impact. The pain was gone in 3 days because the body heals, right? The body heals. Another thing, where I wasn't sure, I was starting to experiment with some sprinting, so I was like sprinting up my driveway after picking up the mail down by the street. And all of a sudden I felt this in the back of my hamstring, right? And I limp up the driveway because I know what I know about how symptoms work and how pain works. I said, maybe that was an injury. It happened while I was running and sprinting up a hill. Maybe that was an injury. I said, or it was the brain going, hey, dummy, what are you doing running up the driveway on a cold day? Right? Could have been perceived danger. And there's no way for me to know for certain. So what did I do? I decided I'm going to trust the body. I'm going to stop sprinting for a few days. I'm going to trust the body that if it was a true injury, it would heal. And I taught the brain, no need to get involved. Just trust it. It'll take care of itself. So I gave little to no fear, little to no attention, trusted that if it was an injury, it would heal, and if it wasn't, it was mind-body, then I didn't need to be involved anyway. 3 days later, it was gone. And so, with most things, without the fear or the attention, the pain can go away. True injuries take a little bit longer, but they hurt massively in the beginning and they get better over time. If you had an injury and it's getting worse and worse and worse, especially the more you get diagnosed by medical doctors and imaging studies that say, oh, there's a problem, perceived danger in action, because injuries feel better over time, not worse. And if there's a true injury that you can point to and say, yep, it happened there, trust the body to heal, because it will. It's what the body does. It really is what the body does. So, don't convince yourself that because I've abused my body over the years with sports or activities or climbing or, physical labor, that you're supposed to hurt for the rest of your life. Not true. Not true at all. So I'm going to wrap that one up there. I love you folks, and as always, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.